Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This episode is completely dedicated to updating you on everything that has happened in my business since my last video. Let's just get started. This was intended to be an annual check-in, but I have been avoiding it, so here we are at a year and a half. I, as you can probably already tell, have rebranded not just myself, but also my website. I went from more of a retro 1950s, 1960s look to a more modern and sleek and colorful look, and I love it. For those of you who don't know, Muza is the Czech word for muse. My last name is really Czech. I come from a Czech lineage, so I feel like the look and the feel and the colors really align with that cultural history and the beautiful logo that I originally made. So I'm really, really happy with it. Next, I want to bring you up to speed on the courses. So everything that you have seen on my channel up until now was related to launching my business, and getting my course off the ground. I have since decided, and I've been thinking a lot about this, I am going to be providing that course completely for free. I am going to update that and upload that into my channel so that any of you who really want to grasp and understand the foundations of branding, marketing, and advertising for your business and learn how to apply this to your business to achieve the goals that you want to achieve, how to create a marketing plan, things that you need to be thinking about as far as who your ideal customer is and where they're going to be, and therefore what you need to be saying to them. All of that is in the course, and it's going to be on here for free. I need to update it because it's still in the previous phase of branding with that more retro look, or I may just keep it the way it is. I don't know, but you will be getting that very soon. I originally also started this whole business with strategy, since that's my background. For those of you who may not know, I was a global advertising strategist. Initially, I started in China. That whole journey is a very long-winded journey. Maybe I'll upload a video talking about it, but I started in China. I transferred through my ad agency into the US. I did some work here, and then I broke off and started my own business, first starting with strategy because that was my background. And slowly through each client, they started to ask me, do you do branding? Do you do, so like logo design, website design, business cards, stationery, menus for restaurants, all that, the design stuff. They're like, do you do that? I'm like, well, yes, I do. So I added design services to my business, and then people also wanted help with their social media management and their advertising account management, lead generation, and so now I also provide that as well. I do not provide SEO. Just not even touching search right now, maybe in the future. So through all of this, I naturally, through my network between China and the US, I gained clients that were interested in breaking into either market. So Chinese businesses who wanted to break into the US market, US businesses that want to break into the Chinese market, or cater to Chinese tourists here in the US, or know that they're coming to LA where I am based. And so through this, I have decided to take the services that I now have for branding, marketing, and advertising, and now I'm moving into the next phase of being hyper focused and specialized in those markets. So instead of just taking anybody and everybody who wants branding, marketing, and advertising for like the local market, I will no longer be doing. I am going to be focusing more on people who need branding, marketing, and advertising in alternate markets, and consulting them and coaching them through that transition. So making sure they are set up for success either way. Now my market, or my network is still very vast. So if you need those things and you're looking more for local services, not so much global or international services, I know plenty of people I can refer you to that I'm happy to refer you to, but I just won't be taking those clients anymore. Now, in between all of this, I'm going to be updating my website. I can't even tell you how many times I've broken that thing down and rebuilt it, but all of this will be updated over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be outlining exactly what these services are going to be looking like, what is going to be included, and how you can learn more if you're interested. In between this past year and a half, it has been crazy. Life has been really crazy. When I started this, I was in a 2-bed, 2-bath apartment with my roommate. She took an amazing job and moved up to San Francisco. I didn't have anybody to replace her with, so I listed her room on Airbnb, which got booked solid that day for the next 2 months. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. So fast forward, I end up managing between 5 and 6 Airbnb properties. I shifted to houses. I was working with a specific landlord. I was doing everything from checking out, cleaning and turning the place, checking in, dealing with customer service and bookings and fixing things that people would break and trying to track down stuff that was stolen, all of that stuff. And by the time I got to 5, at sometimes 6 properties, I started to hire a mini team. And I had cleaning people, I had people helping with customer service, and then it all came crashing down when I realized that the landlord that I was working through had either added on to his properties or completely built properties like pool houses and stuff behind the initial house, completely built these without permits from the city. So the city discovered this. Basically everybody, from what I learned through this whole experience, a ton of people do this in LA, and they do it and they rent it out and they make as much money as they can until the city finds them out. So it was just my luck that they were making their rounds. They discovered this one, and I had to move everything out within the next 30 days. And devastated just isn't even the right word. I had been working on this for 5 to 6 months and just put everything into it. I would stalk the Airbnbs. I run around on Craigslist runs to pick up all of the bed frames and the mattresses and the chairs and the tables and the sofas and the TVs and all of this stuff. They were luxury Airbnbs, so I was buying name brand stuff. And yeah, it all ended. It all ended in 30 days. And then right after that, LA passed a law making it illegal to sublet less than 30 days at a time. So you can only do long-term subleasing, and Airbnb is all, mini subleases. So it was just a roundabout way to make Airbnb illegal in LA. People still do it, but after that law, I was just like, and between like the whole permit issue, I was just like, you know what? This just isn't for me right now. I was generating, everything that I was doing was with the intent to buy my first property, so that I didn't have to deal with a landlord anymore. But c'est la vie. That's just the way it is. And so I walked away from it. I had, my team that I had to release. That was a whole journey. The whole thing was very, very difficult and heartbreaking. I liquidated my furniture to other people who are still running Airbnbs at their own risk. After everything, I was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm over it. So basically, Airbnb is battling local laws and lobbyists, very similar to what Uber had to do, 10 years ago. So it'll eventually work itself out, but right now it's just a hot mess. Next, I got introduced to the head of alumni affairs for the Berklee School of Music through an alumna herself. And I am in the middle of developing a training for their alumni, which I'm really excited about, because this market and their specific industry, you know, entertainment, is totally different from everything else. And so this training is with the intent to equip them. It's like, okay, you have your craft, you have your music, you have whatever it is that you do. Here's how you go about marketing yourself. Here's how to find your target audience. Here's how to sell to them. Here's your options for getting yourself out there and to build, you know, a following. So I'm really excited about that. That's going to be happening early next year. So I am in the middle of pulling all of that together right now. I also started a blog. Now, this was totally by accident. I didn't ever think I would start a blog, but you can read about it in my first blog post. I'm going to link that down below. But I had an amazing experience with a tailor who was tailoring a dress. She's also a designer. She can make whatever your heart desires, whatever you have in your imagination. She can make that from scratch as well. And my experience with her was really awesome. And after my experience with her, I just started asking people my favorite businesses. I was like, who owns this? Because the woman who tailored my dress is from Iran, and her story was amazing. And I was like, wow, like this is really cool. And you know, you're an immigrant, and you came here and you started your own business, and now you provide for your family. I'm like, what could be more American than that? Like that is like kind of like, you know, the American dream. That's how like America was built. You know, my own family, they're Czech. They came at the time from Czechoslovakia, and they settled in Iowa and started an ice business, where they cut blocks of ice out of a lake and sold it to the locals and carnivals, you know, back in the day where, you know, you didn't have freezers and stuff. So yeah, I was like, this is really cool. And I more so wanted to talk about her journey. And so after that, I just started asking people who owns this business, the businesses that I love, and the services that I buy a lot. And lo and behold, majority of them are immigrant owned. And I just had no idea. It didn't even occur to me to ask who owns it, with the thought that, I wonder if this is like an immigrant owned business. So the blog is called America. It just basically just tells the stories behind these businesses. Yes, I talk about their services or products, why I love them so much, but I'm more focused on talking about their journey and how they got here. My next post is going to be about a guy from Sweden who was raised in Italy and started a coffee shop in downtown LA, and in my opinion serves the best coffee in LA. It is just amazing. So be on the lookout for that. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook. You can also sign up for my email list on my website to get my latest post. The minute it is posted, it gets emailed to you, so you're the first to read it. This is just, you know, a passion project of mine. I also want it to help improve my writing and storytelling. So I hope you enjoy it. It's really cool. I love it. The stories are awesome. And you'll be seeing more of that in the future. I also just recently, 2 days ago, got voted on to the University of Texas board of LA. So I'm an alumna from the University of Texas, and I wanted to get involved. They do have quarterly board meetings, and I went to the one for fall, just so happened to be really recent, and you're looking at a new board member. So I'm really, really excited about how I can get involved in fundraising and helping with marketing and getting their events out there, and to raise money for scholarships and mentoring and stuff like that. It's really awesome what they're doing. The board is also young, and I love that. And so I'm just excited to get involved and to help out. So yeah, in between all this, there's been just tons of change, a huge mental shift for me. I'm going to upload a video totally separate to that, but just what jumping ship and figuring stuff out on your own, just like what that does, and what I've learned from that, and how I've grown from that, and where I intend to take all of that. in the future. So I'm going to be talking that's going to be a video all on its own. I moved 5 times. That was like between Airbnb and crazy apartment situations. Like one of my apartments, literally the leak was so bad it was pouring like a waterfall. Not like a drip, like a waterfall from one of my light fixtures. It has just been, like, my living situation this past year has just been crazy. I just got into the place I'm in now. I've been here for a week and a half, 2 weeks, and so I'm just getting started. I'm in my office now, and so hopefully I'll just have a little bit more stability this year when it comes to that, but the past 5 years of my life, I've basically been a nomad. It's been crazy. Anyway, people have come, people have gone, my community has changed, you know, how I structure and live my life and think about everything has changed, and so I'll be updating y'all on that soon. I'm really glad I just got this over with. I stopped putting it off, and it's out here. I hope you have a great day. I hope this was informative and somewhat entertaining. And I will be seeing you later. Bye, guys.